Yes.
All right.
Recording is on.
Okay, so we're going to continue with the bill of exchange. So a bill of exchange is usually used to facilitate international trade between organizations that are located in different countries. So it is also used to facilitate trade between local businesses. So it's not just for trade overseas, but within the nation as well. So it is a written order. It binds one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party at a predetermined date in the future. All right, so the date has to be set. So the business or the person who prepares the bill of exchange, they're referred to as the drawer, right? Similar to when you're using a check. They're referred to as a drawer, and the business or person who receives or accepts the bill of exchange is referred to as the drawee. So not the payee in this instance, but the drawer.
Yes.
All right, again, so the business or the person who prepares the bill of exchange is known as the drawer. Um, and the business or the person who accepts or receives the bill of exchange is referred to as the drawee.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. So when the drawee signs the document, it becomes a legally binding agreement between the two parties. So in essence, it's um,
Contract.
come again?
It's a contract.
Yes, in essence, it's a contract, right? A bill of exchange. So it's legally binding. All right, so the next one we have here is the electronic transfer. Now, electronic transfers, they involve the transfer of money from bank account to another bank account, whether within the same bank or to a different bank, right? So it is generally considered secure and a fast means of making payment. So that is basically what electronic transfer is. When you're transferring funds from your bank account within the same bank or to another bank, right? For example, transferring within your JN bank accounts, right? Or you can transfer from JN to NCB, etc. All right, the next one that we have here is internet banking that you mentioned earlier. No, internet banking, and it is being used a lot, especially in this time period that we're in, this pandemic, right? It is used very frequently. So this service, it allows customers to bank at any time of the day, right? From their homes, from their offices, or any location, right? It could be on the beach, right? So it doesn't matter. You can use your cell phones, you can use your laptops, you can use your tablets to do internet banking. So the customers, they can check their bank balance, right? They can make payments, right? You can pay your bills, light bill, water bill, etc. As long as it is facilitated by your bank, you can make these payments, or you can transfer funds from one account to another account, and you can do a lot of other services as well. So internet banking is very convenient, right?
Hello. Sorry for interrupting. Has the other students joined in?
I have not seen. She's the only person who has been here.
All right.
I'm
Let
not
me see if I
sure
can.
what is the issue because I made an announcement and no
All
one
right.
is.
I'm gonna check them.
Okay, all right.
All right. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So continuing, I was talking about the internet banking.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying that you can do conduct banking from anywhere that you are, and it is very convenient. You don't need to go to the bank and be joining these long lines. All right. And the next one that we have here, another convenient instrument of exchange, is telebanking. Now, telephone banking services, they allow customers with personalized services to speak directly through the phone to a bank employee regarding any issues or any concerns with their bank accounts, right? For example, to arrange a payment to an electricity supplier, right? Here in Jamaica, JPS, right, or another business that has supplied goods or services. So usually when you go online onto the bank site, you may see numbers that you can use to contact their customer service center, right? And there you can engage the representative and do telebanking. All right, so that is essentially what telebanking is, right? You're speaking directly with the customer service representative over the phone, right? And they can address any concerns that you have about your bank accounts. All right, so are we clear on those so far?
Yes, please.
All right, so the next one that we have here is the money order. And this can be used by anyone, even those without a bank account. So you don't need a bank account to use the money order. So a money order actually looks like a check, but it does not have certain sensitive information that would appear on a check, such as your bank account number. So that would not be on a money order. So a money order, it is paid upfront and a payment is guaranteed by the money order issuer, right? Unlike a personal check that may bounce, right? So the money order cannot bounce, right? The payment is secured. As such, it is a very good method of payment, especially when the parties they do not fully know each other as yet, right? So you may be conducting business overseas, you don't know the person you're transacting business with personally, right? So if you want to secure payment, you can use a money order. So like the checks, you can stop or you can cancel the payment on the money order, right? Money orders, they you can get them from banks, you can get them from retail stores, right? And you can get them from post offices in some countries. All right, but usually in order to get these, there's a small fee. All right, so that is it for money order. Now on to the bank draft. So the bank draft, now it is very similar to a check, and sometimes it may even be referred to as the manager's check. Now the key difference between a regular check and a bank draft is that the bank draft, it guarantees payment of funds by the bank. No, as such, the bank draft, it will not bounce like a check. So neither the money order or the bank draft, they won't bounce, right? So they will not bounce like a check. So the bank will set aside or put a hold on the customer's bank funds so that they are reserved and they are made available for payment of the bank draft to the recipient, right? So if you draw up a bank draft for $50,000, that money has to remain in your bank account, so the payment is secure when they're using a bank draft, right? So as a result of this, the bank draft is more reliable than a check, right? And it is normally used for large payments, such as when you're buying a car, if you're buying a house, you're buying appliances, or even if you're paying for your university tuition, right? So the bank drafts, they can be made out for any amount actually, and they are usually used for international payments as well. Now, international bank drafts, they can take a few weeks to be cleared, right? Whereas the local bank drafts, they take a few days to be processed. And there's a fee attached to using the bank draft as well. All right, so the next one we have is the telegraphic money transfer, right? This is older method, right, of making payments. So the telegraphic money transfers or wire transfers, as they are referred to, they were used before electronic payment networks were so prevalent now, right? So yes, persons are, well, yes, persons still do wire transfers, but not so often because now we can do electronic transfers, as was explained earlier. So they are faster than other payment methods, right? Taking a few days rather than a few weeks, right? You don't want to wait on weeks to get your money. And as a result of this, the telegraphic money transfers, they are more expensive method of making payment. Now, most banks they have a SWIFT code, right? SWIFT code stands for Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Yes, that's a mouthful. So SWIFT, they have a SWIFT code which allows the bank to be easily identified, right? And this allows for interbank transactions to be done very fast. So you need to have the following before you do a wire transfer or a telegraphic money transfer. So you need to have the receiver's name, right? So the person or the organization that should receive the money, also the receiver's bank account, you should have that information, the name and address of the receiver's bank, the SWIFT code of the receiver's bank, and also the value of the payment.
Miss, so
Yes.
what will Western Union be?
What would Western Union be in
Yeah.
terms of transferring money?
Yes, miss.
So they may use wire transfer as well, and I think they also facilitated electronic transfers.
Okay.
Yes, right, where you could receive the money directly into your bank account. And the well, not the final one, the second to last one that we have here is M money, mobile money, or mobile wallets, all the same thing. No, modern technology, they allow for persons to receive, to store, and to spend money using their mobile phones, right? So you may have heard of Google Pay or Apple Pay, right? GPay for Google Pay, right? These are all examples of mobile money. Now, this service, it usually is provided by the same telecommunications mobile service provider, right? And the customer's cellular phone number serves as his or her unique account number as well. Now, using this, the customers they can transfer funds to another person, pay for small business transactions, or they can even withdraw funds from their M-Money account, right? So the sender of the mobile wallet, right? The sender of the mobile wallet funds, they receive notification that the funds were transferred successfully, and the recipient receives a notification that the funds were deposited in his or her mobile money account as well. So that is essentially what M money, mobile money, or mobile wallets is, right? Allows you to do transactions using your phone, right? And your phone number usually acts as your account number. Are we good with M money?
Yes, miss.
All right, so the final one, and we're going to speak about that one a little bit in depth. So we have e-commerce. What do you think e-commerce is?
Like online shopping.
Right, right. So e-commerce involves buying and selling goods online, right? So e-commerce, it can be defined as business activities, right, such as marketing of goods and services, buying of goods and services, right, that entails the use of computer-related networks, right, such as the internet, the World Wide Web, even email, right, fax, etc., etc., right? So e-commerce, it is being used a lot today, especially in this time, right? A lot of persons are moving to go online. Now, some companies they have e-commerce websites, right? In addition to physical retail premises, enabling the customers to choose whether they want to purchase online or they want to purchase in stores. But we have other companies that operate entirely online. Can you give me any examples?
Amazon.
Amazon, exactly, and eBay. Right. So those are examples of companies that operate, sorry, entirely online do e-commerce. Now we have several advantages of e-commerce and disadvantages of e-commerce as well. So advantages would include that the business they can market and they can sell their products to large numbers of customers anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day, right? So unlike a physical location that shuts down at a certain time, for example, they operate between 9 to 5. After that, you have to wait until the next day. With e-commerce, it allows for the businesses to, market and to sell their products any time of the day, right? 24 hours a day. Another advantage is that the customers, they're able to search for the products that they want from a much larger number of competing businesses, and they can do so conveniently, right? It's right at the tip of their fingers. So whereas you would have to walk up and down to physical stores, sometimes you're exhausted at the end of the day. Online it is much more quicker, much more faster. You can jump from online store to online store and compare, product prices, product features, styles, etc. All right. So you're able to search for the products from a much larger competing businesses. Okay, and the final one is that the retailers, they can quickly respond to customer queries or to customer complaints, right? Online, right? For example, some businesses, they may have a social media page, right? You may go there and you post your queries or your complaints, and you can get instant responses from their customer service representatives. Now, we cannot talk about the advantages without talking about the disadvantages as well. So with e-commerce, it usually involves little or no human contact, right? So they cannot provide you with personalized services. But some of the business websites, they enable customers to live chat online with their sales staff. So, you would go into a store and, you may ask some questions of the customer service representative, and they can help you to find items that you may like, different color, different shape, different size, etc. That is not usually the case with e-commerce, right? Buying items online. So you don't have that human contact. You're not conversing with an actual person. Another disadvantage is that the customers, they're unable to see and touch and experience or inspect the products before they purchase. Well, yes, you can see the picture of what they give to you, but the actual product, you're seeing model images of the product. You cannot feel the product. You can't try on the product online, right? You have to wait until the product reaches to you, and if you have any issues, then you can always return. All right. So that is a disadvantage. Another disadvantage of e-commerce is that you need to have internet connection, right? You need to have internet connection. You need to also have electronic devices, computers, laptops, tablet, and you need to have credit cards to make your purchases, right? And these things, they're not available to everyone around the world. So this could be a limitation to your business, right? So I believe that concludes it for our common instruments of exchange. Any questions?
No, miss.
All right. So I believe this is the last lesson check. All right. All right. So you're to read the following items and identify the instrument of exchange which is best suited, give reasons for your answer. And for some of them, you can choose more than one instrument of exchange. So the first one, Jessica is very excited about graduation, which is scheduled to take place next month. She's busy shopping online for an elegant dress and fashionable shoes. What instrument of exchange can she use here?
E-commerce.
E-commerce, yes. And she can also use her credit card to make payments. All right.
Yes, miss.
And the second one, Mr. Joseph purchased a container of goods from an American supplier to sell in his supermarket. What instrument of exchange can he use to make payments overseas?
Um, debit,
The hmm, I
credit
don't
card.
He can use credit card, but if he purchased a container of goods, I'm thinking that's a large purchase, an entire container. I don't think the credit card would cover that much. So I would preferably go for a bill of exchange or a bank draft for this question. All right.
So
And
those two, when you're ordering large amount of goods, you would need.
large amounts of goods from overseas, right? Remember, the bill of exchange and the bank draft can facilitate overseas payments,
Yes, miss.
right? And the final one, Leonie wants to avoid the long lines for bill payment at water and sewage company, Wasco. What instrument of exchange can she use instead?
Telebanking or internet banking.
Right. Telebanking or internet banking, right? She can make payments using her phone or she can go online and make payments as well. So very good. All right. So we're almost there. Any questions about the topics that we've covered?
No, miss.
All right. So just to summarize what we looked at today, we looked at the barter system, which is the exchange of goods and services, all right, for all the goods and services without the use of money. And we looked at the advantages and disadvantages of the barter system. We also looked at the role of money, right? And for money, we looked at the characteristics and the functions of money. And finally, we looked at the various instruments of exchange to include credit card, debit card, money orders, electronic transfers, and bill of exchange. All right, so I believe that is it. We have come to the end of today's lesson. But before we go, a few pointers, um, as I mentioned before, there is notes in the course room. I've also posted a quiz, and I believe there is an assignment that we should come back at 4 o'clock to review. Is 4 o'clock good with you?
What you said, miss?
Is 4 o'clock good with you for the review of the activity? So
Yes.
remember that we have a lecture and we have a tutorial session. So I was saying that we could come back at 4 o'clock to review the quiz and also the assignment activity. For the quiz, it's just 10 questions, right? And for the assignments, it's just 2 questions with ABC sections. So I will come back and we will go through the answers at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock.
Yes, miss.
All right. All right. So until then, I'll see you.
That is later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.